Now, there's another new development in the Mueller investigation. According to Bloomberg, Special Counsel Robert Mueller has decided to serve U.S. President Trump's election campaign with a subpoena. So they actually did that in mid-October. This is according to two people familiar with the matter. In the latest sign, they say is that his criminal investigation is aggressively pursuing links between campaign officials and Russia. Now, the subpoena to more than a dozen campaign officials sought documents related to any contacts they have had with Russian operatives, according to one of the people who requested anonymity to speak about sensitive investigative matters. Now, to be fair, this is apparently routine. Okay. Now, one of the people described the subpoena as relatively routine in an effort by Mueller to ensure his investigators have access to all the materials they have previously sought. Mueller requested some new supplemental materials, but said the subpoena doesn't represent opening a new line of an investigation, this person had said. However, there was another source that said, hey, just because they haven't right now opened up a second line of investigation, that doesn't mean that they won't. And there is a possibility that they could do that depending on what they find in the documents. So who knows, right? Look, the truth is we don't know a lot about this investigation, right? Because a lot of it is not public knowledge, what kind of documents and what kind of things that Mueller actually has access to and what they say. We also don't know whether it will lead to any more criminal indictments. Now, we've already had Manafort, Gates, get served with criminal indictments. Now they're looking at Michael Flynn, and I'll get into that in a minute because he's actually a part of this. Now, the people that are targeted by these subpoenas are very, very close into the Trump inner circle. This is Jared Kushner and Donald Trump Jr. I would say that is fairly close, right? Now, Donald Trump Jr. in specific, right, he showed a willingness to try to get opposition research provided by the Russian government, right? Now, we all know that you're not actually supposed to do that. That breaks campaign finance law. Not good, right? Now, remember, of course, that has to deal with the email to Don Jr. From one of his friends, said that this is very high level and sensitive information, but as part of Russia and its government's support for Mr. Trump. Don Jr. replied, "If it's what you say, I love it, especially later in the summer." And of course, later in the summer, we ended up having WikiLeaks. Now, that could be just a gigantic coincidence, but at this point, it's more of an open question of, did they have something to do with each other? Especially since Donald Jr. was also to have been revealed to have spoken with WikiLeaks. Now, WikiLeaks favored Trump in the election. That's not condemnation of WikiLeaks or Julian Assange. That's just a fact. They did favor Trump over Hillary Clinton, and they leaked the emails accordingly. That's, again, that's not a criticism, right? And to be honest, if I were Julian Assange, I also wouldn't be in favor of Hillary Clinton either, or the Obama administration, or anything like that. So to point out that Julian Assange definitely has a bias against Hillary Clinton, I think is incredibly fair. Love him or hate him, you've got to point that out. Just saying. Now, as for the emails, right, I support linking that email because, to be honest, the people actually had a right to know, especially since these emails did prove the rigging of the primary process against Bernie Sanders by the DNC. So, but as it pertains to these, as the whole thing pertains to the subpoenas, here's why. Now, Judiciary Chairman Chuck Grassley and Democrat Dianne Feinstein recently wrote a letter to Kushner's lawyer, Abe Lowell, saying that Kushner did not turn over documents first requested on October 18th, nor has he agreed to a transcribed interview. They said the documents include some related to his security clearance and his communications with former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. Ah. Well, there's your connection here. Michael Flynn. Now, Mueller right now has enough information to indict Flynn, to go after Flynn. I mean, look, it was reported earlier that he was supposedly offered $15 million during the presidential campaign by Turkish officials to go and kidnap someone inside of Russia, or I'm sorry, not inside of Russia, that's stupid, inside of America and deliver them to Turkey. Now, Flynn has, of course, worked on behalf of Turkey before as a foreign agent. So he worked in behalf of the Turkish government. The Turkish government doesn't like this guy. He thinks this guy staged a coup against him. So they're like, hey, man, look, you're in America. You're on a presidential campaign. You might actually win. And if you do, we want this guy. We want, and it was also, it was not just like America was going to send this person over if Donald Trump won. No, that's not what it was at all. Actually, it was more like, we want you to kidnap this guy and smuggle him on a plane all the way to Turkey. That's weird. Super weird. Okay. So anyway, Mueller seems to already have Michael Flynn, but if he decided to share some of this information, working on behalf of foreign governments, with Kushner, well, that might get him in trouble as well. And of course, Kushner has done has his own problems. Okay. So all this, of course, at least raises questions. But of course, we'll have to see what is in those communications to see whether or not it does constitute a legal problem. Now, the letter also said that other parties had given committee documents concerning a, quote, Russian backdoor overture and dinner invite that Kushner also forwarded, but that Kushner hadn't sent a copy to the committee. So again, they're asking for paperwork. They're saying, you were supposed to turn this stuff in. You didn't. Okay, fine. Here's a subpoena. We have subpoenaed your ass. So, and if that's true, I don't know. They might have Kushner too. Again, it depends on what's in the documents. This could be completely harmless, right? They might not show anything relevant. We're not going to know until Mueller makes his move. But for now, it seems like not even anyone in Trump's inner circle is safe. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.